Ebola has left Thomas Eric Duncan fighting for his life in a hospital in Dallas. But Texas authorities are trying to calm the masses, saying he couldn't have spread the deadly virus while having no symptoms.
No one who has been around Mr. Duncan during the time that he has been symptomatic has shown any indication of having contracted Ebola.
Should Duncan survive, Liberia plans to prosecute him for lying on an airport form that he wasn't exposed to anyone infected. NBC News investigated that Duncan was directly exposed. Dr. Nancy Snyderman interviewed an eyewitness who watched Duncan escort a pregnant woman with Ebola to the hospital. She died 2 hours later, and her brother died within days. 5 days after helping a woman that Duncan was told was dying from Ebola, he still flew to the U.S. Now, a cameraman that NBC News hired to cover the outbreak is infected. As a precaution, the entire NBC News crew in Liberia is headed back to the U.S. to be quarantined and treated. Plus, United Airlines has had to alert 400 passengers who may have come into contact with Duncan during his flight to monitor their health. At an Ebola conference in London was a nurse who became infected while volunteering in Sierra Leone. He survived by being flown back to the UK for treatment. He recalled watching helplessly as an entire family died of Ebola and called for more action to fight the disease.
My specific fear is that the horror and the misery of these deaths really fill a well of my despair. And I just don't know what happens if that's repeated 1 million times. And so I say, at all costs, and we can't let that happen.
Sonya, Artero, TVB News.